What's going on, guys? I'm back again with another Flight Simulator reaction video. Now, luckily, this one does not seem to be quite as long for this video, and there's no way this one's going to last like 18 minutes. But you guys didn't seem to mind it. Once again, just thank you so much for all the support. I'm really glad you guys are liking this stuff. So anyway, today we're going to be looking at cockpits. Very excited to see how detailed this stuff is going to look. I hope they show us the 747. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed that they show the 747 cockpit. I know it doesn't. I think it's the 747-8 cockpit. I know it doesn't look too much different, but I want to see just how detailed they can actually get if it's up to PMDG levels. So, anyway, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and boom. Oh, baby. So good.
Welcome to this new episode of the Features Discovery of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm Marcel Bossard, lead software engineer at Asobo Studio, and today we are going to talk about piloting and what is happening once you've seated in a cockpit. Let's start about the cockpit themselves and how realistic they can be in this new Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I'd like to start this presentation with these good old-fashioned analog instruments. All instruments have been modelized with extreme details and scripted to behave exactly as they should be in the real life. In order to do so, we have introduced new simulated data. As an example, in this DR400, we added a complete management of the electrical systems. So the needles of the battery instruments will change depending on the consumption of the electrical devices. We also added a new management of the oil pressure that now depends on the temperature. Since the flight during the night is now possible even in VFR, we have recreated a lighting system on each plane, giving the possibility to set up and dim every single light in the cockpit to mimic exactly the actual plane. Modern aircraft are equipped with very high-tech glass cockpits. We have created a completely new engine for the management and the rendering of these glass cockpits.
Oh, that is sexy.
Will display all the data in 2D or in 3D synthetic vision. Touchscreens are now embedded in these modern airplanes. This is now fully simulated and operational. The system is now able to display real-world terrain and environment awareness. It handles the management of the flight plans that includes seats and stars for departures and arrivals.
Wow.
Mastering cockpits can be very challenging. In order to understand the consequences of each action, contextual cursors and tooltips will indicate how to perform actions and what will be the consequences depending on the state of the plane. We are also introducing a completely new management of the checklist. You will be able to choose the complexity of it, from manual to fully automated. This sequence can also be skipped, and the simulator will set up for you the plane as it should be at the end of this sequence. The system can highlight an instrument or a switch to show what is the next action to perform. The checklist is directly linked to the simulation, so it provides an automated feedback of each sequence completion.
Nice.
As a consequence, even when flying for the first time with a new plane, you will be able to start from cold and dark.
Oh, I can't wait. Wait, actually, wait, go over that again.
About peripherals. The simulator.
Wait, sorry, one more time, just one more time.
About peripherals. The simulation is now bringing a complete calibration and setup tools of all the inputs. External tools.
Oh, I didn't even rewind it.
Complete. You will be able to start from cold and dark.
Okay, good.
The simulation is now bringing a complete calibration and setup tools of all the inputs. External tools are no longer needed. We also kept in mind that many of the simmers have done an incredible job for building their own cockpits. To make them keep the benefit of their hard work, SimVars are going to be exposed as they were by the past and have been even extended with new functionalities. Multi-screens and windows are also supported. Here is the home cockpit we've built at Asobo. It's a replica of a DR400, a plane that we are actually piloting here in Bordeaux. This is helping us to check the quality of the simulation itself, but also the quality of its inputs.
And Dear Santa, there we go, I'll send that off.
Microsoft Flight Simulator will also bring some technologies to improve the immersion. The rendering engine is the very first one of them. We have brought the new techniques of the video game industry.
I'm sorry, I gotta keep pausing this, just... Dude! I feel like I can touch the leather. I have never this goes above
to the world
A2A.
of simulation. Screen space ambient occlusions and irradiance, screen space reflections, screen space shadows on cascade shadow maps, 4K PBR materials allow us to make cockpits feel real. And this is not only a cosmetic matter. With the right position of the sun and the accurate weather system, the lighting in the cockpit will reproduce the exact same flight conditions that you would get in real life in the same time. This is modifying the readability of the instrument that can sometimes be difficult to read. We have used a lot of references to create our cockpits. We had an access to the actual planes to perform some photos and video captures. We are using the very last techniques of scanning, and some manufacturers has even given us some CAD files. The sound is also a very important input when flying. In order to have a great simulation, we have introduced a completely new scripting system based on WISE. This system ties the simulation data to the sound banks and is using a real-time DSP to modulate the sound to make it match the plane parameters. As for the rendering, we had an access to planes, and a dedicated team here at Asobo did recordings of every single sound in high fidelity. In addition to this, we have created a new dynamic camera that brings physicality to the scene.
Oh.
This camera reads every single reaction of the planes to simulate the pilot's head movements. This gives a better understanding on how the plane behaves. So you can feel the consequences of your actions, understand the environments like winds or the variation or the density of the air, but also any kind of mechanical events like buffeting or fluttering when the plane is at its limits and when the pilot needs to act quickly. This camera is filling the needs for pilots to feel physically natural in a cockpit. To conclude, what are the highlights of these presentations? Microsoft Flight Simulator will provide realistic cockpits, a new glass cockpit engine with touchscreens, a new checklist system tied to the simulations with an assistance, immersive lighting, audio, and camera engines.
Wow.
Thank you very much for watching this video. Please stay tuned on Microsoft Flight Simulator website for any further information.
That was good. Once again, I know I was quiet, but you guys don't really seem to mind, and I appreciate that. But still, I know a lot of people like to see, hype stuff, but I don't want to fake it or anything like that. So, but yeah, let's at least go through it a little bit. How much time? Okay, yeah. Well, let's hang out for a little bit and go through some of the stuff here. So, these cockpits. Honestly, I've been playing Flight Simulator for years. I don't think I have ever seen any cockpit in a flight sim this freaking detailed. These guys go above A2A, and those guys are top of the line when it comes to general aviation aircraft. Heck, I would say it could probably go above PMDG. Now, granted, they didn't show any airliners; they were just mostly focusing on general aviation. But I do have a feeling that when it comes to general aviation, they're going to let you be able to interact with all the buttons because, let's be honest, there's really not a lot of them in general aviation aircraft compared to a freaking airliner where it looks like a freaking space shuttle in there. So I highly doubt you're going to be able to press all the buttons in like a 747 or an A320neo or possibly the Cessna Citation, because it would just make flying very complicated. For like people who are just trying to use default aircraft, it would just be too difficult for them to get in. That's why you would buy some like PMDG to get the full-on experience. Plus, PMDG has already confirmed they're coming on over to Flight Simulator. So, very, very awesome, man. I just cannot get over how good this game looks. I mean, granted, I would say I have a pretty high-end PC, and if I can maintain above 30 frames per second with maybe medium to high settings, I will be blown away. I know they're trying to do like an adaptive frame rate type of thing. I will be mind blown if they can actually get this game to run well, because Flight Simulator doesn't have a very good history of running good on launch. But wow, man, I have never seen cockpits this detailed. Like I can like almost taste the leather. I know that sounds kind of weird, but you know what I mean. I feel like I can literally freaking touch it. It looks that damn good. So, And we're hopefully not too far out. Oh yeah, and this thing. Yeah, I know Christmas is only a month away, but yep, that's going on my Christmas list. So, and I'm sure not the only one. So, but you know, Santa, you know, make a special case for me though. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the video, and once again, guys, I can't thank you enough for all your support and the people who have been subscribing. I know I say it all the time, but really, it does mean so much to me that you do that. Always puts a smile on my face. So, anyway, guys, once again, hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to hit the like button like you absolutely mean, and the subscribe button as well. It's totally free. I'm RandomEd787, and as always, game on my fellow Gators and tell my fellow aviators, happy flying.